Yo, guys, I'm back with another review. Here to review the newly released DCEU film, superhero film, Black Adam, starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This film has been in the works for over a decade now and just finally being released. Honestly, I would have rather seen this Black Adam in a Shazam film because them turning them always trying to turn the villains into anti-heroes or whatever, it just doesn't sit across right with me. I mean, Venom, Joker, all these spin-offs of villains that practically basically nobody asked for or wanted. But this film, I mean, going into this, I wasn't really thrilled, but I was curious to see how this would turn out because Warner Brothers, when it comes to DC, the comic book films, they're not exactly thrilling, I would say. And this film was it's a good popcorn flick, I would say. It has a lot of action. Of course, it has a lot of action in it, which is the action scenes are great. I love the visual effects. The humor in it could be iffy. I do say it seems since Snyder has left, DC is taking a turn and realize Warner Brothers is taking a turn and realizing that they don't always need to be dark in for their films to be good. It works for Batman, like Matt Reeves' The Batman, which is one of my favorite comic book films at this moment, and one of the best things that the DCEU has released, DCEU or Warner Brothers, whatever, has released in a long time because Matt Reeves actually knows the character and he's actually a fan of the comics, which I think makes it a lot better when you get someone that's in charge of a comic book film that actually knows the essence of the character, what makes them tick, their if they have a no kill list, stuff like that. And this film and even the Batman, despite it being dark, it did have its some humor in it. And it wasn't as cringy as some of the stuff in, Justice League and Dawn of Justice. But this film, the humor in it was, it can go either way. It depends on your sense of humor. But some people would say that they're trying to rip off Marvel by adding humor into it. There were times I didn't mind it, but there were other times I was like, it was the humor was hit or miss. Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam definitely really cool. Probably one of the positives of this film. The supporting characters, like the human characters of this film, I didn't really care anything about them. No offense, but it seems as if whenever they do hero like monster films or films like Venom or stuff like that, it seems like the monsters, the aliens, or whatever is way more interesting than the humans. And I think if you don't have the humans, interesting human characters, then why should I care about them at all? And I didn't really care about them. All I cared about was Black Adam and the Justice Society. And I feel like Justice Society, one of my favorite things in this film, Dr. Fate was really badass. I was just really, really disappointed in how they didn't utilize him like how he should be in, the Young Justice show and the Justice League cartoon. I just felt like they didn't really. There was something missing. he kept taking his helmet off in every scene he took his helmet off, and that was really bothersome, and it didn't make any sense. The villain in this film is very we don't get to see the we don't really get a villain until maybe like half an hour towards the end of the film, and the villain is kind of the final battle is very, very disappointing. And of course, since this is DCEU, one of my least favorite things is the slow motion. And they are obsessed with slow motion for some reason, mainly Zack Snyder. So when there was slow motion in this film, I was like, wait, is this a Zack Snyder film? What the hell is going on? Am I watching Dawn of Justice? Am I watching um Zack Snyder's Justice League, Man of Steel? Like, what the hell is with Warner Brothers and the slow motion stuff? It kind of distracts me from what's going on, and it's more irritating than anything. And I feel, even though this film is titled Black Adam, I feel as if the Justice excuse me, I feel as if the Justice Society were way more interesting than Black Adam was, and the interactions with them were cool, but I just wish that we would have gotten more of them. I mean, a couple of more members, and also just dive deep into who they actually are, why they formed the group, their origins, stuff like that. But that would have taken away from Black Adam. But I was more interested and intrigued with that group as opposed to Black Adam. But I thought this film was an okay entry into the DCEU. I'd probably give it like 2 or 3.5 stars out of 5. But yeah, these are my ups and downs. Let me know what you guys thought of this film. And spoiler alert, well, non-spoiler alert, there is an end credit scene, so stay and watch the end credit scene. But I can't wait to see what's going to happen after the end credit scene, because Warner Brothers needs to get their stuff together. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this film. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.